It was just another rainy Friday evening when Lucas left his office. He worked late, he always did, and the building was nearly empty by the time he packed his bag. The security guard had already made his last rounds, the janitors were gone, and silence filled the long marble hallways. Lucas hated elevators. He preferred the stairs. But tonight, his legs were aching, and the thought of climbing 23 floors just to get to the parking garage made him sigh. So, for once, he pressed the button for the elevator. The doors slid open with a metallic groan. Inside, the lights flickered, and the air felt strangely cold, as if someone had been standing there moments before. He stepped in and pressed B2, the basement level where his car was parked. The doors closed. The elevator began to move down, but then, without warning, it jolted to a stop. The lights dimmed to a weak, pulsing glow. Lucas frowned. Great, stuck again. He jabbed the door open button. Nothing. He pressed B2 again. Still nothing. And then, he noticed something odd. The panel showed 24. There was no 24th floor in his building. The highest was 23. His stomach tightened. Maybe it was just a glitch. He pressed lobby. The elevator lurched, but instead of moving down, it started rising. Slowly, painfully slowly. The numbers on the display climbed. 21, 22, 23. And then, with a loud ding, 24. The doors slid open. Lucas hesitated. Through the gap, he saw a hallway bathed in pale blue light. The walls were lined with peeling wallpaper, old and stained, as though untouched for decades. At the far end, a single door stood half open, swaying slightly, as if inviting him in. His instinct screamed, "Don't step out." He jabbed close door. The elevator obeyed, the doors sealing him back into the box of humming lights. Relief washed over him, until he realized something else. The elevator wasn't going down, it was going up. 25, 26, 27. Each number clicked into place with a sharp beep. Lucas's heart raced. His building didn't have these floors. It didn't make sense. The higher it climbed, the colder the air became. Frost edged across the mirrored walls, and his breath came out in a pale mist. He pressed the emergency call button. Static. No voice on the other end. Then, faintly, he heard it. Whispering. Not through the speaker. Inside the elevator. He pressed himself against the back wall, eyes darting across the empty space. The whispers grew louder, like multiple voices murmuring at once, layered and overlapping, but all speaking the same words. "You shouldn't have come. You shouldn't have come." His throat tightened. "Stop this!" he shouted, his voice trembling. The elevator dinged. 30. The doors slid open again. This time, it wasn't a hallway. It was a room. A long, endless corridor of mirrors, stretching in every direction. The air carried a faint metallic stench like rust. Or blood. In the reflection, Lucas saw himself. Pale, wide-eyed, lips trembling. But then, his reflection smiled. Lucas froze. He wasn't smiling. His reflection was. The copy tilted its head, raising one hand in a slow, mocking wave. The doors slammed shut. The elevator dropped. Lucas screamed as the floor yanked out from under him. The numbers on the display blurred, falling too fast to read. His stomach lurched as though he were plummeting into a bottomless pit. And then, silence. The elevator stopped. The display glowed faintly. B2. Finally. He staggered to his feet, clutching his bag. The doors opened with a shudder, revealing the familiar, dimly lit parking garage. His car sat exactly where he left it. Relief hit him like a wave. He stumbled out, desperate to get away. The elevator doors closed behind him. He turned back just once to look. The floor display was still lit. Not B2, not lobby, but 31. The elevator dinged. The doors opened again. Inside stood his reflection, grinning. And then the doors closed, leaving Lucas alone in the garage, his skin crawling, his mind spinning. The next morning, Lucas told himself it was exhaustion, stress, a hallucination. He promised never to use the elevator again, but curiosity gnawed at him. What was on those floors? What was waiting at the top? For days, he resisted. But one evening, when the building was empty again, he stood in front of the elevator doors. He told himself he wouldn't step inside. Just one look. The doors opened. The car was waiting. The button panel flickered, numbers glowing all the way up to 50. His hand moved on its own. He pressed the top. The elevator shuddered, as if pleased, and it began to rise. That was the last time anyone saw Lucas. His car remained in the garage. His belongings sat untouched in his office, but no one found him. Not in the stairwells, not in the hallways, not anywhere. The security cameras showed him stepping into the elevator, but they never showed him stepping out. He never came back. No one ever saw Lucas step out of that elevator. Not his co-workers. Not the guards. Not even the cameras. Only the echo of his presence remained. An empty car in the garage, a half-finished cup of coffee on his desk, a jacket still draped over his chair as if waiting for him to return. But sometimes, at night, the building changes. The cleaning staff whisper about it, the way the elevator doors slide open when no one presses the button, how the lights inside flicker like a heartbeat, how the panel shows floors that don't exist. And if you're unlucky enough to be nearby when it happens, you'll see him. Lucas, standing perfectly still, smiling, waiting. Some say he's trapped, forever riding that elevator to nowhere. Others believe he's become part of it, a warning for anyone curious enough to press the wrong button. But one thing is certain: if the doors open for you, don't step inside, because once it takes you up, it may never bring you back down. So, tell me, would you risk stepping into the elevator? Or would you take the stairs forever? Drop your answer in the comments if you're brave enough.